Building on our double replacement reactions lecture from yesterday, we just have one final thing to add, and this would technically be assignment 5B for you guys. I left up our double replacement reactions here. Hopefully you're doing okay with that. What we need to now do is be able to look at double replacement reactions and predict the states and solubility of the products. And what this really means, guys, you probably saw in the other video, both of these solutions are aqueous, which means things are going to be dissolved. I'm not going to see anything. When I dump them together, though, a lot of times what we'll see in the bottom is something called a solid precipitate. And that's a chunk of something that is bonded together so strongly that it cannot be pulled apart by the solution, and it's going to appear as a solid in the bottom. Going back to your reactions help sheet now, there's two sides of this you can use. The front side kids don't usually like as much, but soluble, guys, means that something's aqueous and it's going to be dissolved. So if you go look at this, what this means is that anything that has nitrate in it is soluble. So technically, if I go over to my reaction right here, I could go add the letters AQ with calcium nitrate because I know that it's not going to form a solid. It's going to be dissolved in solution and it's going to get pulled apart by whatever it's in solution with. AQ means it's soluble and it will be dissolved. On the other hand, at the bottom of this, we have insoluble compounds. Insoluble means it will not dissolve, and what that means is that it's a solid, and it formed that precipitate. So if you see anything with sulfide, if you see anything with hydroxide, usually, unless they're with these exceptions, they're almost always going to be solids. Some kids will struggle with the fact that insoluble, or putting a little S, means a solid. Don't confuse that with soluble. This is the front side of your help sheet. The back side is probably the one you're going to like more because what you'll end up doing here is using table 17.3 at the top. This is called your solubility chart, and you're just going to crisscross to go find stuff out and predict what these would be. So for instance, here's calcium nitrate. If I look at calcium and I go over and I find where nitrate comes down, what two letters are right there? AQ. That shows us that this would be an aqueous compound that would be dissolved in water. On the other hand, if I go find AgBr, that's silver bromide. I'm going to scroll up. Here's silver. We can see silver is a very heavy metal and it's a solid a lot of the time. So here's bromide. So if I go look at silver bromide, it has a little letter S, which means right here, I would go put a little letter S because that is going to be a solid. When I mix these two things together, what that means is that there's going to be some silver bromide solid in the bottom of the beaker, and I know that from my solubility chart. And it's going to be that little precipitate in the bottom. This would be the insoluble product because it's going to be a solid. That's what you'll do on assignment 5B, looking at those letters, but this is the back of your reaction help sheet, and this is probably what you'll use to predict the different states of those products. Good luck.